Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We've got a truly captivating story to unpack today. We're looking at the fascinating evolution of the Canadian men's national football team. We're going to trace their incredible journey from struggling underdogs on the global stage to the highly motivated, ambitious co-hosts of the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup. It's a story of resilience, breaking historic droughts, and a completely revitalized squad.
Now, you might be wondering about the big question we're exploring today. Can Canada actually secure its first ever World Cup win right on home soil? As co-hosts alongside Mexico and the US, they are set to grace FIFA's flagship tournament for only the third time in their entire history. But this time, the expectations, the roster, and the environment, totally different. They aren't just showing up to participate, they are out for blood and a maiden tournament victory.
Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to quickly track their 1986 World Cup debut, look at that massive breakthrough in Qatar, break down the new Jesse Marsch era, examine the current mix of veterans and dual nationals, and finally, look at what that 2026 home soil advantage really means.
So kicking things off with their 1986 World Cup debut.
To really grasp where this team is headed, you've got to understand the sheer mountain they're climbing. Across 2 tournaments, they've played 6 games, 0 wins, 0 draws, 6 losses. They've only managed to score 2 goals while letting in 12. So yeah, they are quite literally fighting history to set a new standard here.
That challenging history started back in Mexico in '86. Tony Waiter's squad had actually done an amazing job just to get there, topping a qualifying group with Guatemala and Haiti. But man, once they hit the main stage, it was a daunting away experience against some serious global heavyweights. They put up a fight but took a narrow 1-0 loss to France, courtesy of a Jean-Pierre Papin header, and then suffered back-to-back 2-0 hits against Hungary and an Oleg Blokhin-inspired Soviet Union. They packed their bags without scoring a single goal and left searching for answers.
Fast forward to Section 2, a historic breakthrough in Qatar.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the timing. After a grueling 36-year wait, Canada finally returned to the world stage in 2022, and it took exactly 1 minute and 7 seconds against Croatia for the entire landscape to shift.
In that lightning-fast moment, Alphonso Davies etched his name right into his nation's history books. The sequence was a thing of beauty. Goalkeeper Milan Borjan launches it up to Sile Larin. Larin slips it to Tajon Buchanan, who goes charging down the right flank. He puts in this perfect, inviting cross, and Davies just rushes in with a bullet header right past the keeper. The Canadian fans went absolutely wild. Now sure, they ultimately lost that match 4-1 and ended their Qatar run with a loss to Morocco, but that single goal, it cemented Davies in Canadian footballing folklore and proved this team could finally throw punches on the global stage.
Which brings us to the architect of the current squad, the Jesse Marsch era.
Following Qatar, the team needed someone to build on that momentum. Enter American coach Jesse Marsch, appointed last May. His background is honestly the perfect storm. He was a trailblazing player in the very first MLS season back in '96. Then he becomes a highly successful North American coach before heading overseas to manage elite European clubs like Salzburg, Leipzig, and Leeds United. What he brings is this unique blend of North American grit and top-tier European tactical flexibility.
Let's look at how he's building the team in Section 4, veterans and dual nationals.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what Marsch is doing. He knows an expanded 48-team World Cup requires serious depth, so over the last couple of years, he's deliberately reconstructed the team, building a bridge between those legacy players who broke the 36-year drought and a brand new influx of dual national talent.
The balance is highly calculated. Up front, you've got your battle-tested Qatar veterans, guys like Jonathan David and Sile Larin spearheading the attack, but the real tactical evolution comes from the fresh recruits. Marsch has aggressively recruited dual nationals like Alfie Jones, Luc de Fougerols, and Nico Seeger to lock down the backline. When adding Promise David to the forward mix, it completely changes the dynamic, giving them the defensive and offensive tools to compete against global powerhouses.
Finally, Section 5, the 2026 home soil advantage.
All of this preparation points toward one ultimate test, and the contrast from the past couldn't be more striking. Think back to 1986. They faced a daunting, isolating away experience in Mexico. But in 2026, they are the co-hosts. They won't be traveling to hostile territory. They'll have the roaring backing of tens of thousands of home fans. It is an unprecedented psychological and environmental advantage.
Let's move to the actual schedule and see how this builds for Group B. The massive bonanza kicks off June 12th against Bosnia and Herzegovina, right there at Toronto Stadium. Then, they fly west to a surely deafening BC place in Vancouver to take on Qatar on June 18th and Switzerland on the 24th.
But there is a bit of a lingering shadow over that crucial June 12th opener in Toronto. Superstar fullback Alphonso Davies, the very man who scored their only World Cup goal, is currently dealing with an ongoing hamstring injury. If he's sidelined for that first match against Bosnia and Herzegovina, the depth of Marsch's newly balanced roster is going to be tested right out of the gate.
So we come back to the core of this incredible journey. Will Jesse Marsch's elite European coaching experience, combined with this fresh influx of dual national talent and the undeniable energy of a roaring home crowd, finally be the recipe for Canada's historic first World Cup win? The stage is set, the pieces are in place, and the entire nation will be watching. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this leaves you as pumped to watch the 2026 tournament unfold as I am.